Random ranking time, guys. Random ranking. You know the rules. You pick the movie, okay? The first 10 movies that I've seen, and it can only be one movie from like a franchise. All right. So boom, there we go. We got them. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Boy, this is gonna be you guys made a great ranking list right there. That's a damn good list, and it's gonna be really hard to rank them. Jesus. And I'll put a little check after each one, okay? So thank you for your submissions. It's been a while since we did one of these. It's a good mix of new and old. I like that. A lot of movies that don't have franchises, which is really cool. Guys, give yourself a round of applause. That's a really good list. I could not do better. And some of those are phenomenal movies. Phenomenal, but deep cuts. I'm going to do a backflip. Jesus, this is awesome. Now, this is only going to go by entertainment value, okay? I'm just going to do this based off entertainment, not like production of the movie, although that can factor in. I'm going to put Founders Day for the number 12, and I liked Founders Day, so that should tell you how good this is of a list this is. But, against those movies, so Founders Day has a check. And I don't really need to. Some of them I'll expound, and some of them I'm sure you're gonna like agree with me. Founders Day, it's a fun little political slasher, and which you know what the big credit I have to give Founders Day, two things. In a current political climate these days, where people get offended, because there's two sides of the argument these days on everything. This movie pulled off the daring task of not picking a side, right? In a political slasher, they didn't pick a side. They based it around characters that are equally crazy, which might be true anyway. And I dug the final act in this movie. It really, you know what? I like a final act that just goes freaking bonkers crazy. And I liked that about this movie. So now it's the Evil Dead 2013 Prey Fresh Fire in the Sky. I think I know which way I'm going to go on this one. You know what? I think I'm going to go alone. And just because I haven't watched it since. But I really liked the isolation factor in this. I think it is a movie that you might be, it's one of those movies that begs to be picked apart. Would she or wouldn't she do this? This would never happen. People always do that in these movies. And the truth is, when you're under the gun, sometimes you can't think straight. And you might make really bad decisions. So, but this is another one I really love the ending of the movie, though. The ending of the movie, I think, really saved it. And it definitely kept my attention the whole way. So, yeah. So that's your number 11. So now we're in the top 10. Now top 10. Okay. Out of that list, I'm going to go... Ooh, this is tough. It's either Fresh... You know what? I'm going to go Behind the Mask. Yeah, Behind the Mask is really fun. It's so unique. It feels like a found footage type slasher. It definitely pays homage to the slasher genre, and you got this like journalist. And I'm trying to remember, does she know that I don't think she knows that he's a serial killer. Does she? I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched it. Number 9. What do you guys think? Number 9. I've already said it, so I think I'm gonna go. Man, Fresh was really good though. Let me go through this real quick. Evil Dead, hell no. Prey, Fresh, Fire in the Sky. You know what? I think I'm gonna go Fire in the Sky actually. And I really like Fire in the Sky, but not against this list. I saw Fire in the Sky in the theater, guys. And it was quite the experience. I tell you, this might be one of them. If you want your like Alien, and this is based on a true story, and I believe they did a lie detector test on all these guys, and they passed the test. It's a logging crew from the 70s, and they went out to do a job, and you got some colorful characters in there, some interesting characters, and they finished the job. And then they're coming home, and then they see an alien spaceship. And then one of the guys, he goes towards the spaceship, and the spaceship sucks him up into the spaceship. And then you get to see later on in the movie what he goes through. And again, based on a true story, and highly recommend Fire in the Sky. It is, I tell you right now too, I will say this, out of all these movies, Fire in the Sky might be the scariest, or in the top 3 scariest movie on this list. It's got some freaky ass shit in it, right? Liana, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I love the OG Evil Dead and never saw the remakes. Looks like I need to get on that. Yes, you do. The Evil Dead remake, Liana, is one of the best remakes out there. Bar none. It's far better than the Friday the 13th remake. Okay. That means nothing. Okay. All right. So we're down to number 8. I think we're number 8. You know what? I'm going to go Hills Run Red. And you know what? I'm glad somebody recommended this movie for the list. And thank you guys for such a stellar freaking list. But Hills Run Red, I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen it. Robert Meyer Burnett produced this movie. And man, it's a cracking little backwoods slasher type movie. It doesn't hold back at all. And it's about this guy or this group of people. They want to make this horror film, or maybe this lost horror film, and they end up becoming part of the film, even though they don't want to. So it's kind of like a snuff film, like it turns into a snuff film. But in the vein of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Just Before Dawn, movies like that. This is a great, fun backwoods slasher for sure. Hills Run Red. It was quite surprising. Number 7. I'll go fresh. But man, guys, do not sleep on Fresh. You want your good, really fucked up cannibal, but not, it's a different type of cannibal movie. This is a businessman, and he captures his product because he sells human meat. So he needs to capture the product alive, and he needs to, he can't just kill them. He can't torture them. He's got to keep them. And, if it's like cattle, if they're in a very stressed state, then the meat's not going to be as good. So he's got to calm them down. Sebastian Stan is in this. He's really great. And this is the movie that I thought, I guarantee you, and I hope not, that this is actually happening in real life. Because there is a market for everything out there. And there's some really sick people out there. And I just guarantee you somebody's doing this. And I hope I'm not right. And I hope they're not getting away with it. But I feel like I would even say, I bet this idea of this movie came from some truth. I bet it did. Because again, because of fetishes and how crazy people are, there's a market for this, and so he sells the meat. But man, one of those movies that it's a captive survival type movie, and we always love those movies. They got to get out of this situation, and you're rooting for them to get out. And the lead actress was great in this too. She reminds me of Rebecca Hall a little bit. Really good though, really good. Okay, so now we're down to number 6. Damn, I'm gonna go Prey. And I love, Prey is the number 3 best Predator movie. It's that freaking good. And you know what? I'll be controversial. I was so glad that Prey was good. Like most people seem to like the movie. It's got some really awesome shit in it. But I loved that it threw egg in the face of the really close-minded crowd out there that just, because it's associated with a certain studio, they want it to fail. They want it to be bad. They were already making videos about it before it came out. When that movie came out and that movie kicked major fucking ass, I was just like, yes, thank God, yes. Because you know what? It's not like I'm on any side of things, guys. I know it sounds like that. It's not that at all. I'm on the side of open-mindedness and giving everything a fair shake. And ever since this Alien Romulus was mentioned, is coming out, I'm seeing in my comments, it's going to suck because, Disney's behind it. And my answer to them every single time is, fuck you, Prey. All right? Yeah. And if you've seen that trailer for Alien Romulus, I'm not saying, but it's Fede Alvarez. I don't think Fede Alvarez is going to be like, okay, I'm going to check this box. No, he's not that guy. He's not that guy at all. He's going to make a really kick-ass alien movie, because you don't want to waste that shot, right? Like, I got one shot to make a legit alien movie that's part of the franchise, and I'm going to waste that to try to check a box? No, hell no. So I love it. I love it. I love it that Prey, I was hoping, and Prey had some really awesome shit. And to all you idiots out there that say a woman can't beat the Predator, stop. Okay, Jason, please tell them, okay? It's not about this. It's about this. And that's what she does. She uses this to be, but those people that say that, they don't have this. So that's why. See, I told you I'd be controversial. I don't give a fuck. Who cares?
What's up, guys? You are at the middle of the video. Don't go anywhere. There's still plenty of content ahead of you, but just wanted to break right here to say you are at Drumdums Xtra, my second channel. If you like my main channel and you're not subscribed, I would urge you to subscribe to this channel, okay? Because this is where I do a lot of my horror updates and whatnot. I moved all that stuff over to here, and it's more of a live stream type feel. I am working really hard on this channel, just as hard as I am on the other channel. You'll see at least 3 or 4 videos a week, and most of it's like horror news, topical type stuff. Got some rankings on there and whatnot. The main channel's still the main channel, but this is more for this type of content. So anyway, guys, back to the video. And subscribe, damn it.
I'm gonna go Friday Part 2. Friday Part 2. Like that there's a sackhead. I'm not saying do you prefer sackhead Jason, but what I'm asking is, do you like that there is a sackhead Jason in Friday Part 2? Because I do. I really do love that we have that variety in the franchise, I'm glad that they waited to introduce, and I think Jason was saying this, that it would be cool to have a slasher franchise where every movie the killer had a different mask. It could be the same guy, but he just puts on a different mask, I think that's a cool idea, and they almost attempted that because, hell, the first 3 Friday movies are all different killers, pretty much. Different masks, because in the Friday Part 1, you got Pamela. Friday Part 2, you got the sackhead Jason. And then Friday Part 3, you got the tried and true hockey mask. I love that about Friday. So, and, Friday Part 2's got arguably one of the greatest final girls ever, Jenny. I met her. She was an absolute sweetheart. And I asked her, I was like, Amy Steele, why do you think people love Jenny so much? What is it about her that separates her from every other final girl that people love her so much? And I'm paraphrasing, but she basically stated that she was always ahead of what was going on. As soon as something happened, she was always thinking ahead and trying to figure out the situation and how to get around it. She was less of a reactionary, even though sometimes she had to react, but she was more about thinking on her feet, always thinking on her feet. She wasn't the strongest person in the world, but you couldn't help but get behind her. Like Jamie Webster said right there, she was smart. She was very smart, very intuitive. She didn't let her emotions get in the way of survival, and that's what makes Jenny such a great final girl. And I could not agree with Amy Steele more. She understood that character. So, and I think she really sent it home. She did. Okay, so now we got Evil Dead, American Psycho, Demons, and Pieces. The big four. The big four. For me, this is easy. I'm going to go... It's between Demons and Evil Dead. I'll go Demons. Man, I love Demons. And I'm glad somebody picked an Italian horror movie on here. And I think most of the Italian horror movies I've seen are at least like a 4 out of 5 for me. I'm sure there's some... I'm sure there's a couple of exceptions in there. But man, I just love that flavor. And the Demons is... I think I really love the 80s Italian horror movies. Because Demons has such an infectious soundtrack. So fun. The whole thing takes place in a movie theater. That's what's good about Demons too, is like both movies, one's in a movie theater, the second one's in a high rise. I love that. And the Demons has some really scary shit. And I would say of this list, Demons is probably top 3 scariest. Top 3 scariest. Because it's really got some freaky shit in it. You know, it's one of the few really, really scary movies that has kind of a fun vibe to it. Right? Because of the music, because of the location, the characters. And by the way, there's a character in this movie that looks exactly like Jensen Ackles. Like exactly like Jensen Ackles. Damn, boy, this is a tough 3 movies to do. Jesus. Wow. I am literally stumped. It's that solid. Like all 3 of these movies I'll tell you right now could be number 1 for me. I'm going to go Evil Dead. I know you hate me, but I'm going to... And guys, I love the Evil Dead remake. I love that it feels like it could be a sequel. What's her name? It's driving me crazy. The main character in Evil Dead. I loved that character so freaking much. Jane Levy, yeah. Jane Levy was amazing, and to have to carry the reins when you don't have Ash in the movie is no easy feat. And boy, does she do it. She is amazing in this. Amazing. And you know what? I really love the story of the drug addict, and because nobody believes her. And you buy that they wouldn't believe her, right? So, the idea is you got to keep her in that cabin, because if she doesn't stay in that cabin, then we don't have a movie. And they keep her, even if she did try to escape, the Deadites try to keep her there anyway. They freaking suck her down into the water, in the tree scene. Boy, Fede Alvarez did not hold back with this one. Did not hold back at all. All right, guys, here we go. Holy shit. America, you couldn't have 2 more different movies in the top 2. American Psycho and Pieces. Wow. And I don't have an answer. I don't have a definite answer. It's really tough. I almost have to flip a coin. Yeah, I'll go American Psycho. Number 2. Fuck it. Why not? It's my list. Now, they're remaking American Psycho. We did a news story on this a while back. I am really curious about that remake, but I'm scared too. And I think it just depends on who's all behind it and the writing and everything. Guys, did they announce who's directing the American Psycho remake? I don't remember if they did or not. But it's just such a unique, quirky movie that's just as funny, even more funny than it is a horror movie. But man, it's a great slasher movie too. But he doesn't hold back at all. And then it's got that ambiguous ending, kind of like The Thing. And Christian Bale, you couldn't have anybody else in that role. I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio, I think he would have done a good job. But I think Christian Bale really had that cadence for that character, He just had a certain rhythm to his performance. And I think it worked so well. Let's see Brandon's card. So yeah, number 1, Pieces. Bet you didn't expect that, guys. I always say Pieces is the Italian horror movie that's not really Italian horror. It was Spanish, I think. Pieces is one of the most unique horror movies still to this day that I've ever seen. And you can file Pieces into the class of movies that you can't remake. You can't remake Pieces. If you tried to remake Pieces, it wouldn't really be Pieces, because Pieces is more about the ingredients of the movie than the actual plot of the movie. It's a standard slasher movie, but it is so damn fun. And it's a movie you can definitely laugh at, but it's one of my all-time favorite endings. Like, this ending, to me, is up there with, like, Sleepaway Camp. It's that great of an ending, and it's a 1-2 punch. That's a list I could do down the line, is 1-2 punch endings, where you get the twist, but then they give you something else. I'm sure there's a list of those, but Pieces is just so freaking weird of a movie. It's got the best kills. It's got tons of nudity and excess in it. And no apologies, Jamie. No apologies whatsoever. It's also the rewatchability value of Pieces. Man, I got the Blu-ray right here too. Where's it? Here it is. You need that, guys. You need that. I tell you, if I could save 5 of my Blu-rays or 4Ks, whatever, I might grab Pieces. I might have to keep this. I guarantee you, this movie is going to skyrocket in value once it goes out of print, because it's such a great addition, and it comes with like the score, the soundtrack. But One of my all-time favorite movie posters. One of my all-time favorite movie posters for Pieces. Like Chainsaw Killer. And if it was a legit Italian horror movie, it might be like the best Italian horror movie ever made. It's so good. It's so good. So, and I guarantee you there's a couple of you there that have never seen it. Oh yeah, the bastard scene. Thank you, Cheryl. I forgot about the bastard scene. Yeah. I love movies that keep a take in that should not. There's no way in hell that should have stayed in the movie. But for some reason it did. And I think that's hilarious. Cut. Let's move on. We got it. I mean, really? And it's like the greatest freaking take ever. Bastard! Just when you think the movie's about to get serious because it's got this like overly dramatic music throughout. Just when you think, okay, now the comedy's gone, we're going to be serious from now on. Then they do something like Bastard, you know? Or they have this guy, this karate guy that just shows up out in the middle of nowhere. Like, what the hell was that? You know, and in the story behind the scenes, it's hilarious because he just showed up on set and they were like, let's throw him in the movie. Has nothing to do with the plot whatsoever. That's Pieces. It's a glorious thing. Yeah, we checked it. Was this fun, guys? Was this not fun? Do we need to do more of these? Because we will.